On ancient Molokai, the Big Island's Ali'i and his fleet were taking a break from voyaging to Kaua'i to win back the Ali'i's best retainer and friend, Pa'aka'a. Unknown to them, they are guests of Pa'aka'a, who confirmed the two murderous navigators did not have loyalists among the crew. Pa'aka'a cut the crew's lines and used his wind gourd. All that remained from the massive fleet was the Ali'i's canoe and its men. So continues your next installment of Hawaii's Wind Guardians, The Crossing. And this is Legends from the Pacific. Aloha, and thank you for joining us. This is your podcast about Asian and Pacific Islander folklore and cultural history, Legends from the Pacific. Welcome to your long-awaited episode 161, Hawaii's Wind Guardians, The Crossing. I am Kamu Kaneshiro, a native Hawaiian professional writer, speaker, and Comic-Con panelist with extensive film and television experience. I study mythology, I've encountered unusual things, and I'm a geek.
In the beginning, there was the Pacific Ocean. A canoe broke the horizon, piloted by Pele, a beautiful Polynesian maiden who dominated the waves until she felt safe to stop.
The audiobook of our Legends from the Pacific Book 1 is now available, narrated by multi-award-winning voice actress Emily Wu Zeller. Just click the link in our show notes to purchase our audiobook and enjoy Emily telling our stories today. Mahalo nui loa to our Legends from the Pacific Patreon members: B Money, Kawai, Perry, Chris, Abram, Xander, Jaden, Thistle, Christy, Charlene, Ollie and Will Geis, Christopher, Meg, Jessica Bullock, Edward Pue'o Henke, Felisa H., and the Makuli Guy for supporting our mission of spreading Asian and Pacific Islander cultural awareness. Dear listener, please consider becoming a Legends from the Pacific Patreon member to enjoy various benefits and help support our mission of spreading Asian and Pacific Islander cultural awareness. As usual, I apologize for any mispronounced names or words and appreciate your understanding, because who would have known talking positively about cultures, sharing it with others, and even writing about it would upset people, especially since there's different spellings and pronunciations for words like Pa'aka'a, which is the name of our protagonist. Now, the next installment of your epic. The sun broke the horizon. The Ali'i's men stirred in their canoes. Screaming women woke them. The men sat up and saw their families running towards them. They met them and embraced. On Molokai, Pa'aka'a met with Kua before anyone woke and told him what he did. Then Pa'aka'a went to the field and collected the potatoes where the navigators were. The Ali'i exited his hut, and Kua joined him walking to the shore. His massive canoe and its men were all that remained of his fleet. The Ali'i's jaw dropped. "My Ali'i," the navigators wailed. "Our fleet was lost at sea." "This was a wasteful voyage," the other said. Kua went to the water. "All is not lost." "How can you say that?" a navigator said. "My Ali'i, he disrespects our men," the other said. "Enough," the Ali'i said. "Kua, please continue." "Ali'i, the island's reef cut your fleet's line." Kua lifted a line from the water. "But fear not, for the wind and the currents run to Maui and the Big Island, so your fleet drifted home." The navigators laughed. "That's preposterous," one said. "My Ali'i," the other said. "Let's return home and check. If they are not there, Kua should be killed." The Ali'i faced them. "While it seems impossible, you two have been wrong this entire voyage. Kua knows these waters, and I believe him. I also do not wish to dwell on morbid thoughts. Kua, how long will this clear weather last?" Kua examined the sky. "A while. I'd suggest eating before leaving." The Ali'i nodded, and they ate. Kua met with Pa'aka'a. "Well done, my son. I'm sure the Ali'i will ask you to join him. Accept his offer, under the condition that you take these." Pa'aka'a gestured to a large boulder and log. "The log is hollow. I filled it with potatoes and large palm leaves. Between Kaua'i and Oahu, create a storm. Anchor the canoe. Give provisions to everyone but the navigators. Then wait till they fall. When they do, go to the Big Island and search for their loyalists. Dispatch them if you can. Then consult the kahuna to ensure it's safe for my return. Kua nodded. He embraced his father, then returned to the Ali'i. Kua, the Ali'i said, you've been an incredible asset to my voyage. Please join us. I'd be honored, Ali'i, but I need to take 2 of my belongings. The Ali'i offered a few of his men to help Kua. I'm sorry, Ali'i, Kua said, but more men are needed. The Ali'i shrugged and called several more. Kua took them to the boulder and log. They were taken aback, but took them to the Ali'i's canoe. In the clearing, the remaining crew helped them load Kua's items. The navigators mocked them. Kua smiled. You didn't help, so I will not help you later. We'll never need your assistance, the navigators said. Kua said goodbye to his parents. Pa'aka'a handed him the windgourd wrapped in kapa cloth, and he and his wife watched the Ali'i's canoe leave Molokai. Off Oahu's coast, Kua faced the Ali'i. My Ali'i, our supplies are low. Should we restock on Oahu? A'ole, a navigator said. Kaua'i is in sight, and the sky is clear, the other said. The Ali'i nodded. We are too close to stop now. Between Oahu and Kaua'i, Kua faced the Ali'i. My Ali'i, a storm approaches. The navigators searched the clear sky and laughed. Kua went away from everyone, opened the windgourd, and chanted a mele. Clouds darkened, lightning shot through the sky, and rain pummeled the canoe. This storm will pass, the navigator said. We must stay the course. Ole, Kua said. We'll be lost at sea. We must anchor. Aye, the Ali'i said. But how? Secure a line to my boulder. The Ali'i's oarsmen secured the line. Then Kua pushed his boulder overboard. Winds whipped waves and chilled the crew. Kua opened his log and handed large leaves to the Ali'i and crew. You deceived us, a navigator said. We didn't know the log stowed things, the other said. You refused my assistance, Kua said. Are you going back on your word? The navigator shivered, looked at Kua's leaves, then their Ali'i. This storm will soon pass, a navigator said. Kua opened the log and gave potatoes to everyone but the navigators. Their stomachs growled, teeth chattered, eyes closed, and they fell overboard. The Ali'i and oarsmen looked for them, but the navigators were lost. Kua covered the windgourd, and the storm stopped. Kua, the Ali'i said, what should we do? Your once magnificent fleet is not an impressive showing for Pa'aka'a. We should return to the Big Island and collect your men. Aye, the Ali'i said, but my oarsmen are tired. Kua studied the sky. If we cut my boulder's line and paddle south, wind and current will take us to the Big Island. The Ali'i ordered his men. They cut the line and paddled. Kua went away from them, opened his windgourd, and chanted a mele. Winds pushed their canoe. The wind has us, Kua said. Your men may rest. The men marveled at how quickly the winds took them home. They talked about their families and what kind of welcome they'd get, while Kua wondered how he would find the navigator's loyalists. That's going to be it for this installment, but stay with me now. We're almost to the end. I'll see you next week for your next installment of your epic. Same Legends from the Pacific time, same Legends from the Pacific channel. Thank you once again for listening and doing all you can to support our show. Mahalo and a hui ho!